The Mok Yi Pai, or wooden ear plates, are a training tool that is synonymous with the styles of Kung Fu which originated from the Lion's Roar system which came out of Tibet. These three offshoot styles are Hop Gar, Lama Pai, and Pakok Pai. Similar yet different. I'm a representative of the Hop Gar system as taught by David Chen. The following training is a reflection of our school, but similar curriculum and tools can be found elsewhere. What will be shown in today's video are some of the beginner exercises to use the Mok Yi Pai. The information shown is only skin deep, and a trained practitioner should be sought out for actual instruction. A few housekeeping things dealing with the Mok Yi Pai. Do not snap while using them. This is dangerous to your joints. Relax and let momentum be key, as well as the squeeze point will be brought up a lot. When squeeze point is used, it is nothing more than simply squeezing your hand, trying to make sure everything stays central to the hand and not going further, therefore adding tension to the movement. Again, seek out a trained practitioner should you seek more information. Wind through the willows, a beginner movement but continually useful even at the advanced stages of training. Momentum is key. Bring the hips into the initial swing, both forward and back, while squeezing at the top, both forward and back as well. On the forward swing, the squeeze is not meant to necessarily tense the body, but to strengthen the grip, structure, and the squeezing, almost clamping motion of the body. Squeezing can be viewed as braking a car. You can either come to a complete stop or you can slow down. Relax all the way through and make sure during the squeeze you still relax enough to allow movement. Important note, to keep the arm extended is to make sure that wave and long power is being trained. This sensation can be felt by focusing your intention on the Mok Yi Pai in front of the fist. Keeping the Mok Yi Pai straight out the front of your fist throughout the movement is the goal. Chun Choi, or straight punch, one of the three fist seeds of the Hop Gar system. This punch represents the crane's beak and pierces into the opponent's structure. Make sure to squeeze both the front and backhand simultaneously and with equal strength. A point of focus is to maintain the straight trajectory of the front fist while ripping the rear hand back with a swinging motion. The front hand and backhand end their motions simultaneously, along with the turning of the body. The rear hand also turns over, palm facing up, at the end of the movement. Remember to keep the Mok Yi Pai straight throughout the movement. Save your joints. Do not snap these movements. Remember, momentum is key. Pao Choi, or upper swing punch, the second of the three fist seeds of Hop Gar. This movement mimics the crane's wings sweeping upward to either attack or intercept. Time the front and back hands to end simultaneously, and remember to squeeze at the end point. The squeeze is particularly important here to save and strengthen the shoulder joint at full extension. This movement is also a functional stretch to fully open the shoulder and the surrounding areas. The Mok Yi Pai not only build striking power, but they fortify the body to best deliver it. Make sure to stay long throughout the movement and do not collapse the elbow at the top of the movement. Cup Choi, or stamping fist, the final of the three fist seeds of Hop Gar. This movement represents the ape bringing its arm crushing downward onto the opponent. This is one of the only exceptions to the timing of the front and backhand. When the backhand swings over the shoulder, remember to maintain structure throughout the movement. The squeeze starts when gravity wants to pull the end of the Mok Yi Pai downward. Squeeze both front and backhands simultaneously until the movement is finished. This squeezing strengthens the structure of the strike plus the overall delivery system utilized. This is similar to slowing down the descent after completing a push-up. Once again, remember to stay long. Ji Choi, or stretch punch, a movement seeming to mimic the ape's ability to throw a strike no matter the angle and still deliver power. This technique is commonly used for both interception and striking, and even uprooting depending on the proximity to the opponent. This strike is very important in our family of Hop Gar because the arc of the strike covers so much of the upper gate. When the front hand first comes to the front of the body, it is palm downward. At the peak of the strike, it is palm up. The squeeze point is important to maintain the structure of the arm and shoulder to properly deliver power. The front hand should crest at the height of the user's nose. Pak Yik, or wing flip, a movement which mimics the crane wing flipping at the crest of the flapping motion. This technique is commonly used to strike vulnerable targets on the opponent's body or limbs. A common misconception of this movement is that it snaps. What you are actually seeing is a squeezing motion, which results in a wrist flip, causing the knuckles to protrude upwards. As opposed to just flicking the wrist, the squeezing motion will ensure the proper structure is achieved for both correct training and striking. To reiterate, do not snap and let momentum carry you to full extension. Mut Choi, or wipe punch. This movement mimics the natural way of striking across all ape-like creatures, commonly referred to as a haymaker. Jokes aside, this is an incredibly natural movement which has been refined to deal the most damage while being the most physically sound. It is a strike that crosses both vertical and horizontal planes. When training, it is paired up with the chun choi to regain the center and keep momentum from throwing off balance too much. The opening gua choi, or back fist, follows the same arc as the strike and allows momentum to continue through naturally. It's no wonder the two techniques are used together so often. Remember to stay long and allow for extension. The squeeze point of the front hand would be just above the height of the user's shoulder. Chow choi and cow choi, the hook and cross hook punch. These punches represent the ape fighting in closer and closer proximity. These two movements can be viewed as a bridge between the long and short techniques. Their range is shorter depending on the usage, but the power is still long. They are commonly trained and used together, effortlessly combining with one another. The hook movement is finished when the tricep becomes parallel to the ground and the cross hook turns over from palm facing sideways to downward to add a raking motion. These techniques are commonly used after penetrating both the opponent's guard and structure. The uncoiling of the body between the movements is to remind the user to turn and activate the waist. Both can be practiced on their own if preferred. Chop choi, or corkscrew. This technique is commonly found in other systems such as Choi Foot and is made famous for its usage being able to slip past a guard while still striking with full force. When training this technique with the Mok Yi Pai, bring the hand up to the ear, but think of the elbow pointing upward through the movement like a shark fin going through the sea. This will assist with the turnover, which is where the technique derives its usage and power. Extend fully, allowing momentum to steer the punch, with the rotation ending with the bottom of the fist facing skyward. Start the squeeze as the hand begins to turn over, culminating in the finished strike, maintaining the relaxed yet piercing power of the squeeze point. Lohan Chop Choi, or corkscrew in the Lohan footwork. This exercise highlights the Lohan footwork, which is very common amongst southern systems of Kung Fu. The combination of the Gua Choi, back fist, and the Chop Choi, corkscrew, become aggressive when paired with the advancing footwork. This will build the waist and the timing needed to break through the barrier between training and usage. Keep the same instructions mentioned before for the corkscrew. The timing of the punch and step will depend on your goal. If your goal is strength, time the corkscrew with the back foot. If your goal is usage, time it with the front step. Lohan So Choi, or roundhouse punch in Lohan footwork. This is a technique similar to a few already shown and also found in many other southern systems of Kung Fu. The highly aggressive footwork shows one of the ways to enter into your opponent's space. The timing is based on the forward foot to strike and step simultaneously. After the two roundhouse strikes, a corkscrew punch is thrown to reestablish central dominance. When throwing these techniques, be mindful of your shoulder, just as you would with any swinging strike. Relax and be long, allowing for the relaxed squeezing power to come out. The squeeze point would be entering the arc right above the shoulder. Lohan Pek Choi, or chop punch in Lohan footwork. This is another swinging strike utilizing common southern Kung Fu footwork. The Pek Choi, or chop punch, is done while simultaneously sinking and twisting. then immediately fires a kick from the chambered leg. 2 follow-up ji choi, stretch punches, are thrown, then start over with another twist and chop. The footwork displayed is common lohan, using the twisting and coiling of the waist to set up foot traps, sweeps, and even kicks, while simultaneously striking with heavy-handed techniques. Remember to stay relaxed and squeeze during the strikes. The timing of the 2 stretch punches is with the front foot as normal. Lohan chow choi and cow choi, or hook and cross hook punch in Lohan footwork. This exercise utilized the aggressive Lohan footwork with the chow choi, hook, and cow choi cross hook. You start by stepping into a back-weighted stance, throwing the hook punch, then step forward while dropping the hand and throwing a follow-up cross hook punch with the same hand, timed with the back foot stomping. The striking hand is thrown to the side while the backhand swings upward for a pao choi, or upper swing punch, as well to be a counterbalance while a kick is thrown. The kicking leg then steps forward into a horse stance and a follow-up hook punch is thrown. The timing of this exercise can be tricky, but don't overthink it.